Before I die, I long to see my past. But as long as I breathe, I continue on the path where my family and my destiny waits for me. I entered the forest 7 days ago. I have no plans to leave. When you enter the forest, you succumb to the laws of nature. I am fortunate to have made it this far. My presence in the forest has not gone unnoticed. A beast has been tracking me these last nights. I am able to run, but never completely vanish. I am a stranger in its land, and the beast knows that I, like the forest, belong to it. In my village, there is a fable of a wise man, Ryokan. He was born to be the leader of the village, to lead with wisdom and tradition passed down through generations. When he was just 18 years old, he was faced with an impossible decision. He had fallen in love with a village girl, Akina. They would send him lotus flowers and pottery to each other and walk hand in hand by the river beds. But their future held only heartbreak and tragedy. Ryokan was born to be the leader. He was bound by tradition and laws. All village leaders must forsake relationships and remain celibate in order to be focused on the village needs. On the day of his confirmation, they knew that they must make an impossible decision. They tried to declare their love for each other, but the village would not accept it. Akina was with his child, and this brought great shame on Ryokan. He was stripped of his role, stripped of his robes, and forced to beg for rights in the streets. Labeled a heretic and village fool, he would sit in silence with his head down, only raising it to look longingly towards the riverbeds, where he once walked with his love. Akina was allowed to stay in the village until she gave birth to a baby boy. He was then handed down to a family that could not bear children and raised as their own. In the days after his birth, together, Ryokan and Akina fled the village for the forest, never to be seen again. The village thought long and hard on who to choose to be the new leader. Some agreed that my past should never be revealed to me. On the 17th anniversary of my birth, the legends of Ryokan and Akina were revealed to me as my own past, my own truth. And I was asked to make an impossible decision. I held such mixed emotions about my past, anger at the village for forsaking my mother and father, guilt and crippling shame at the expectations of me to be their new leader. I looked for answers in the stars. I walked the riverbeds next to the lotus flowers, retracing my parents' footsteps. And the answers started to become clear to me. Some paths are to be taken no matter the outcome. I decided that I would leave a week before my 18th birthday. I did not want to see the faces of the village people and my adoptive parents. The disappointment and shame, they could keep it. The legends of Ryokan and Akina are many. Some say they died together jumping from a great high. holding hands so they may always be together in the next life. Other people say my parents would have been killed by wild animals, that no humans could survive in the forests. And my favorite, that they managed to be at one with the forest, that the forest took pity on them as they were lovers, and allowed them to live out their days in peace. That's what brings me here now, in search of answers. Despite never knowing or holding them, I fear their love for each other, and I wish to join them. The beast is closing in on me. I spilled some blood on a sharp edge, and despite my best efforts, it is certain now. Soon, it shall strike. I have no idea how far or in what direction I have come now. I am saying my prayers in my mind, asking for guidance from my parents. If they can hear me, please guide me to you. Please, guide me back home. From a narrow path at the foot of a mountainside, the day is ending, and twilight is shining down on this circular clearing of forest. I hear the beast behind me. There is a high drop from the mountainside. Could that be the place where Ryokan and Akina jumped? The beast shows itself at last, eyes white and wide, its claws like knives. Its footsteps now stomp the ground, as there is no pretense of hunting now. It is making no secret of its presence, as it moves in for the kill. I will never know my mother and father, or what became of them. My quest has ended in failure. I shall not put up a fight. I shall let the beast take me, as I take my place in the legends of the forest.